Picture this. You're breaking up with someone. It's messy. Emotions are running high, and every little thing seems to be a point of contention. You're changing your Netflix password, dividing the furniture, the whole shebang. It's not just about the big stuff. Even the smallest details need to be sorted out. But then you realize you still share a Spotify account, and neither of you wants to give up that sweet, sweet playlist. Those shared memories, those favorite songs, they all come flooding back. That's basically X's relationship with Brazil right now. It's complicated, it's messy, and it's far from over. They shut down their operations, packed their bags, and said, "Adeus." It seemed like a clean break, but appearances can be deceiving. But guess what? The app's still up and running. It's like they left the building but forgot to turn off the lights. It's like they left the party but forgot to turn off the music. The app continues to function, users are still engaging, and life goes on. And honestly, it's more confusing than a pigeon wearing a tiny sombrero. You can't help but wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. Is this a trial separation? A social experiment? Who knows? The uncertainty is palpable, and everyone's left guessing. But one thing's for sure. Brazil is X's ex. They just can't seem to quit. The ties are still there, and the story is far from over. This whole saga started because X, formerly known as Twitter, got into a bit of a spat with the Brazilian government. It wasn't just a minor disagreement, it was a full-blown conflict. Specifically with a judge named Alexandra de Moraes, who is about as fond of misinformation as a vampire is of a garlic smoothie. He's been relentless in his efforts to clean up the digital space. He's been cracking down on fake news and hate speech, which, let's be honest, is about as common on social media as bad selfies and misspelled restaurant names. It's a monumental task, but he's not backing down. X, in all its infinite wisdom, decided to ghost Brazil rather than play ball. They chose to walk away instead of facing the music. They shut down their office, fired most of their staff, and presumably started practicing their Portuguese apologies. It was a drastic move, one that left many people in shock. It was a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Only time will tell if this decision will come back to haunt them, or if it will be a strategic masterstroke. Meanwhile, the users in Brazil are left in a state of limbo. They continue to use the app, but the uncertainty looms large. Analysts and experts are watching closely, speculating on the potential outcomes. The market reactions have been mixed, and everyone's waiting for the next move. In this interconnected world, the actions of a single company can have far-reaching implications. X's Brazilian ghosting is a testament to that. The online debates are heated, with opinions flying left and right. It's a hot topic, and everyone has something to say. What does the future hold for X in Brazil? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, though, this story is far from over. Our story begins with Alexandra de Moraes, the Brazilian Supreme Court justice who treats misinformation like a cockroach in his kitchen. He's meticulous, relentless, and has a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to the spread of false information. He's been on a mission to clean up the internet, and he's not afraid to bring the legal hammer down on anyone who stands in his way. His approach is both aggressive and thorough, ensuring that no stone is left unturned in his quest for digital cleanliness. Think of him as the digital age's answer to a stern librarian, but with the power to issue warrants and levy fines. He's the kind of figure who commands respect and instills a sense of order, making sure that the rules are followed to the letter. Enter Elon Musk, the self-proclaimed free speech absolutist who bought Twitter and promptly renamed it X because, well, reasons. Musk's vision for the platform was one of unbridled expression. A digital town square where ideas could flow freely, unencumbered by the constraints of traditional moderation. Musk and Moraes, as you can imagine, did not exactly become pen pals. Their philosophies were diametrically opposed, setting the stage for a clash of titans in the digital realm. The Brazilian government accused X of becoming a haven for fake news, especially during the 2022 elections. The platform was flooded with misinformation, creating a chaotic environment that threatened the integrity of the electoral process. We're talking full-blown conspiracy theories, the kind that make your uncle forward you chained emails about alien lizard people. Moraes wasn't having it. He saw the potential for real harm and was determined to put a stop to it. He slapped X with fines, threatened to block the platform entirely, and basically dared Musk to a legal duel. Moraes was not one to back down, and he made it clear that he would use every tool at his disposal to maintain order. Musk, never one to back down from a fight, even one he's likely to lose, initially resisted. He believed in his vision for X and was willing to go to great lengths to defend it, even if it meant facing off against a formidable legal opponent. But when faced with the prospect of a complete Brazilian blackout, even he realized that maybe, just maybe, playing nice with the local authorities wasn't such a bad idea. The potential loss of an entire market was a risk too great to ignore. But playing nice isn't exactly in Musk's DNA, is it? He's a disruptor by nature, always looking for ways to challenge the status quo and push boundaries. Instead, he chose option C, the old shut down the office but keep the app running maneuver. It was a bold move, one that allowed him to maintain his presence in Brazil while sidestepping some of the regulatory hurdles. This maneuver, however, was not without its complications. The Brazilian government continued to scrutinize X, and the battle between Musk and Moraes raged on. It was a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with each side trying to outmaneuver the other. The legal Thunderdome was in full swing, and the outcome was far from certain. Both Musk and Moraes were determined to emerge victorious, and neither was willing to back down. The stakes were high, and the world watched with bated breath as the drama unfolded. In the end, the clash between these two titans was about more than just a social media platform. It was a battle for the future of digital communication, a test of how far the boundaries of free speech could be pushed in the modern age. As the dust settled, one thing was clear. The dawn of the legal Thunderdome had arrived, and the world of digital communication would never be the same again. So, X pulled out of Brazil, right? Well, sort of. They closed their office, gave their Brazilian employees the boot, with a severance package, we hope, and basically said, we're out. But then they did something truly bizarre. They left the app running. That's right, folks. X is gone, but X remains. It's like closing down a restaurant but leaving the vending machine in the lobby stocked and operational. You can't get a table, you can't order from the menu, but hey, at least you can still get a stale bag of chips and a lukewarm soda. This means that Brazilians can still use X. They can still tweet, or is it X now, retweet, and argue with strangers about politics and football. The only difference is that there's no one really minding the store. It's like the Wild West of social media, except instead of saloons and tumbleweeds, there are just endless threads about Neymar and the latest political scandal. This begs the question, what's the point? Why bother shutting down operations but keeping the app alive? Is it a legal strategy, a cost-cutting measure, a social experiment to see how long it takes for the internet to devolve into chaos without adult supervision? Your guess is as good as ours. So, what does this all mean for the average Brazilian who just wants to share memes and complain about the weather on X? For many, X is more than just a social media platform. It's a digital community where they connect with friends, family, and even strangers over shared interests and daily musings. Well, not a whole lot, to be honest. The core functionalities that users have come to rely on remain intact. They can still post updates, share photos, and engage in lively discussions. For the most part, it's business as usual. The digital landscape in Brazil continues to buzz with activity as people juggle their online and offline lives seamlessly. They can still log on, scroll through their timelines, and get into heated arguments about whether pastel de queijo is better with or without sugar. It's better with Fight Me. These debates, while seemingly trivial, are a testament to the vibrant and engaged community on X. The user experience remains largely unchanged. The interface is familiar, the interactions are the same, and the content continues to flow. The only difference is that if something goes wrong, say their account gets hacked, or they encounter a particularly nasty bot. Good luck getting help from customer service. The lack of support can be a significant pain point for users who find themselves in a digital bind. Imagine trying to call a customer service hotline and being greeted by a pre-recorded message in Portuguese that roughly translates to, "This number is no longer in service." It's a frustrating scenario that leaves users feeling helpless and disconnected. Please try throwing your phone into the ocean. While this might seem like an extreme reaction, it underscores the level of frustration that users can experience when they can't get the help they need. It's a strange limbo, to be sure. The platform continues to operate, but the support infrastructure that users rely on is conspicuously absent. Imagine going to your favorite coffee shop only to find out they've closed down, but the automatic espresso machine is still spitting out tiny cups of caffeine. It's a surreal experience that leaves you questioning the reliability of the service. You can still get your fix, but the whole experience is just a little off. The ambiance, the human touch, the sense of community, all these elements are missing, making the experience feel incomplete. The future of X in Brazil is about as clear as a glass of muddy water. Uncertainty looms large, and users are left wondering what the next chapter will bring. Will they ever reopen their office? The physical presence of the company in Brazil is a significant factor in how users perceive the platform's commitment to their market. Will Moraes finally lose his patience and block the platform entirely? The legal and regulatory landscape adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Will Brazilians finally get tired of the lack of customer service and migrate to a new platform? Only time will tell. The digital world is ever evolving, and user preferences can shift rapidly. For now, Brazilians continue to navigate this uncertain terrain, holding on to the familiar while keeping an eye on the horizon for what comes next.